Right, so if you're watching this, you can probably tell two things about me. The first being that I'm a YouTuber, kinda. I have a YouTube channel and I don't have a proper job, so weirdly it's the closest thing I have to an occupation. The second thing is that you've probably figured out that I'm a bit of a loser. I like all the least cool bits of popular culture. I listen to edgy indie music. I like dark comedies which will offend and trigger people. I even enjoy the occasional bit of online trolling. I am, mentally and culturally, a virgin, bordering on incel. And so, the fact I'm making a YouTube video on YouTube boxing shouldn't be a surprise to anyone in the slightest. I love YouTube boxing. There, I said it. I don't like it ironically, I'm not laughing at it, I'm not only watching it because everyone else is watching it. I want to take this opportunity to loudly and proudly come out as a YouTube boxing superfan. I followed it the whole way. I had my notifications on for Joe Weller against Malfoy. I know the words to all the Sidemen diss tracks off by heart. I envy Oasis fans, as there's no way the Noel and Liam split compares to what I went through with Crawford and Weller. I've seen True Geordie somehow scrape his way into all the big events and then make a documentary when people criticise him for being ridiculously biased.
I felt like saying do you know what I mean? When you really care about someone, I was like, fuck me. Just wanted to be alright.
Oi, can we take a minute to talk about how weird it is that he fancies Joe Weller? They'd met like 3 times in total, for fuck's sake. Honestly, my theory is that it was Joe Weller who Geordie was messaging in those DMs.
Here right now, who love you. I'm one of them.
And of course, I've seen the press conferences. They're masters in entertainment. I love all of it. The insults.
Toby can fight better than he can dress. Because you dress like
Finally, looks like you grew a little dick today, but it's a little one.
Why don't you introduce me to her? Huh? Apparently you only have 85% of your testicle. Let me give her the extra 15.
The walk-ons. The walk-offs.
Hey, how's that lit?
Hey, I would love to sit here and answer your questions. I feel like KSI addressed everything. London, I'm out. I'll see you August 25th.
Where are you going, bro?
The seemingly obligatory push and shove at the end. And probably the greatest aspect, the absolute hooligans who attended. Fuck your cringy football youth firms, the KSI Army and the Mavericks blows your West Ham Millwall out the water. Just look at this atmosphere.
suck your mum.
All right,
Suck
clear
your
the
mum.
stage.
Suck your
We've got to
mum.
clear the stage
Suck
for the
your
next
mum.
fighters.
Suck your mum.
So yeah, I like YouTube boxing, and this Sunday, after some little side stories, the next chapter in the YouTube boxing saga will be released as Logan Paul takes on Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I'll repeat that again. Logan Paul, yeah, that guy, is fighting Floyd, 9 major world titles, 50 wins, 0 losses, the money, Mayweather, in an 8-round exhibition fight in Miami. And as you can probably tell, I cannot wait for it. I'm going to get into the press conference and my predictions for the fight soon, but before I do that, I need to get out the main point of this video, and that is a response to the proper boxing fans out there who have consistently belittled and sneered at YouTube boxing since it began to gain mainstream coverage. There's some criticisms that I understand but don't agree with, which I'll get into first, and then there's some unfounded, regurgitated crap that is spouted by morons who haven't bothered to do any research on the subject at all, aka the group I would be in if I didn't like YouTube boxing.
Everything is on point.
I totally get this. If you're an up-and-coming boxer or a fan of one who has dedicated their life to being in contention for a prime pay-per-view ticket, seeing some morons off the internet, who, let's not forget, are hardly squeaky clean PR-wise, land million-dollar contracts is going to really sting. Sport, like all things, should be a meritocracy, and this quite simply isn't fair. However, you have to view this as them being rewarded for their brand building, entertainment value, personality and audience. If Logan beats Mayweather, he does not receive a belt, it does not impact on Floyd's 50-0 record, it doesn't put him in contention for a title shot, it will purely earn him more money and clout, the things that he has gained in order to put himself in this position. If Logan was to, with a record of 1 professional fight, 1 loss, be given the opportunity to fight the best boxer in the world for a major title, then that would go completely against the principle of sporting meritocracy. However, he is instead getting an exhibition fight with a retired fighter who he, certainly among younger audiences, has a similar level of fame to. I think it's completely fair. through his internet persona, he has a bigger fan base than 95% of professional boxers, and therefore deserves 95% more exposure and audience. The best analogy I can come up with is Tommy Fury, who's brother of Tyson. He's a pro boxer with a couple easy wins to his name. If he fought again, based purely on his boxing ability and record, he should probably be early on an undercard or the main on a smaller event. However, due to his appearance on Love Island and the fact he's a Fury, means that his next fight, at whatever level, will pull in more of a crowd and get more coverage than a boxer of a similar or slightly higher level. It's why Soccer Aid or the Wembley Cup pull in thousands more fans than the average League One game, because it's not entirely about the boxing, it's about the personalities you're watching. Logan Paul fighting Mayweather is a reflection on how much he has grown and his celebrity status, rather than anything to do with his boxing ability. Went off on a bit of a tangent there. I said there were other good arguments against this fight and YouTube boxing generally, and there is, but I can't really be bothered to go into them at the moment. So if you have one, please comment below and I'll argue with you there, because I've got nothing else to do. Now onto the stupid arguments.
Crabs are looking Gucci. Sharp is all I want until it suits me.
You do realise how fucking easy it is for YouTubers to make money, right? Look at some of their merch, for God's sake. A quick browse of the Sidemen shop and it will cost you 40 quid for one of the worst looking hoodies I've ever seen with a tiny Sidemen logo on it. Seriously, these lot pull in 20 odd million views by eating. Fucking eating. That thing the rest of us do just to stay alive, they make thousands, possibly millions of pounds doing. If I could make money this easily, I reckon I'd make it in a slightly less painful way than repeatedly getting punched in the face and risk a life of memehood for. Okay? They're not doing it for the money. Clearly, they're getting paid alongside some sort of interest or passion in boxing.
Everything is on point. Show the ground for how I'm living. Can't complain on how my people win.
Alright, I'll concede not everyone binge watches YouTube boxing documentaries like I do. However, this is a really stupid comment. Pretty much everyone who has had a YouTube boxing fight has dedicated an insane amount of time and money on preparation and training. The Pauls have employed the likes of Shannon Briggs, Sugar Shane Mosley and all that. Vidal Riley obviously worked close with KSI and Gibb, and Joe Whaler seemingly employed Ross Barkley to help him box. It's not an orthodox method, but certainly not a cheap one. These people have dedicated a lot of money into becoming the best they can be, because no one wants to get embarrassed on the big stage. Boxing is something you have to take seriously because the stakes are so much higher than any other sport.
Everything is on point. Yeah, my GG looking glorious. If I die, I know I'll die notorious.
I cannot disagree with this one more strongly, and it's probably the comment I see most about these sort of events. Firstly, the press conferences, the diss tracks, the overall standard of the fight may be seen as cringy or not cool. But people who say this, do they not realise just how lame boxing is? Two grown men having a fight that is 90% cuddling and having to wear big fucking padded gloves so they don't hurt each other too much. Also, try to watch a boxing walkout without cringing. You're trying to act hard with your rap music and your fire and your mask or whatever, when really, the toughest you can look in a boxing match is walking in with the lights on, no music, and decking your opponent with one punch. There's a lot of soap opera and needless shit, which is pretty fucking embarrassing to do with normal boxing. However, these lot, who are, entertainers in their prime, just amplify it to help hype the fight up and get more views. It's not embarrassing, it's just part of the game. And if you're going to find this embarrassing, next time Tyson Fury's getting carried out on a throne, you've got to cringe at that as well. Also, YouTube boxing is the greatest thing to happen to boxing in years. Do you know how many young kids tuned into KSI versus Joe Weller, saw how JJ completely transformed his body, and wanted to take up boxing after? I actually joined the boxing society at my university a year after that. Although, admittingly, I did get some strange looks when in the response to the question, well, who is your favourite boxer? I responded, Comedy Shorts Gamer. Now let's get into the fun bit of the video. My press conference reaction and fight prediction for Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Alright, the press conference. Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Although the camera is currently on Jake. There he is, the money man. Floyd the Money Mayweather. He is short, isn't he? I think I'm actually taller than him. I mean, Logan is considerably taller than Floyd Mayweather. And I think Floyd Mayweather's got heels on. He could, obviously, if you didn't know who these two are, you'd be backing Logan in a fight, innit? In a pure fight, you would definitely be backing Logan here. Floyd Mayweather has just threatened to beat both Logan and Jake in the same night.
The only thing that's fake on this stage is Floyd's.
The only thing which is fake on this stage is Floyd's hairline. Apparently Floyd Mayweather's had some terrible like hair job or something, which I don't know anything about, but fair play to Logan. Like, Logan has no right really to talk to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is like the best boxer of a generation, and Logan's just taking the piss out of his hairline. This is why YouTube boxing is so good. Oh, whoa, what a dig. The two in the same night, puss and C. Of course, inferring that these two are pussies. What, like, sensational. He's what, again, 40, 45? And that's like, I don't even know if that's like a primary school level insult. That is, Jesus. Like, this guy, I know Floyd is not the brightest in the world, but, you know, come on, man. You've been doing press conferences for how long? Surely you must have some sort of a few in your pocket, a few one-liners to sort of bring out.
Tired, you old. Very, very old. You a grandpa. Very wise. Your kids have kids.
My kids have kids. Love. Logan just said he was very old. Floyd's reaction was just, yeah, I am old. And he was like, your kids have kids. He's like, my kids have kids. Like, does he know what he's meant to be doing here? He's meant to be combating what Logan's saying. He's just repeating it.
My kids love my grandkids, and guess what? I'm gonna treat you just like you one of my grandkids. I'm gonna tighten your ass up.
What? I'm gonna treat you like one of my grandkids. I'm gonna tie your ass up, I think is what he said. Is social services, anyone checking in on this guy? Like, I don't have grandkids, so I don't know how you treat them. But I have been a grandkid. I am a grandkid, and I've never been tied up by my granddad. So, yeah, keep an eye on Floyd. You know, Childline is available. I'll put the number down on the screen.
I know what he did to the country of Japan. I know what he did to Japan. So guess what? You have to pay for what you did to Japan.
Is this you trying to rally an entire country around you?
So,
I know what you did to your wife.
one thing.
Oh, so basically, Floyd said, "I know what he did to Japan," which he didn't do it to Japan. You know, I mean, he did it to one poor, you know, guy who took his life. It's tragic. So his family have been impacted, but Japan as a nation, what's Japan's population? I don't think they all care. And then Logan zings back with a pretty good one-liner about he knows what Floyd did to his wife, which we all kind of know what he did. I think done to multiple partners. Like, he's a proper, you know, we know where he's been getting his practice for the boxing. That's all I'm going to say.
You have to always have proof. Go by here saying always have proof. So one thing.
Always have proof. You've just been accused of beating your wife. We all know he got arrested. I think that's pretty good proof. He's had like testimony of a lot of women, and his response is, you always have to have proof. He's not even like tried to combat it or deflect it. He's just said, well, you know, until you prove it, that's not a valid insult. Like, this man I don't think he was that intelligent to begin with, and all the hits he potentially has taken in the boxing ring over the years is really taking a toll on him, because what the hell is that? That's as much of an admission as basically saying, yeah, I did beat my wife, basically. No one is watching that and thinking he's not guilty.
Know about me. They can say what
Are
they
you
can say,
reading from a teleprompter?
but one thing that I do.
Oh no, you can't read.
Well, you can speak. You can say whatever you want to say. One thing we know, us as black people, we die for what we believe in. We stand for what we believe in.
Look at Logan's face. Like, what do you mean? What has this got to do with black people? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know fucking anything about civil rights or you know, the struggles. I have no idea. I'm incredibly ignorant in that regard. But Logan Paul just said you can't read. Like, Black people haven't died for the ability to read. In fact, I'm pretty sure most of them can read Floyd. I don't know what this has got to do with it. Look at Logan's face. He clearly knows. This is a man who is being cancelled. He knows when a cancellation is coming, and he knows that this one is not going to happen. He knows that Floyd has been a fucking idiot. Also, didn't Logan do like loads of great stuff for BLM like while this protest was going on? Like, Floyd, man, what is he doing? Again, he's like 50. He's 50 years old or something, this bloke.
It's always about race.
It's always about race. That's like something from like a film trailer. You know those films about, you know, the civil rights films or whatever. Like that sort of would be a dramatic sort of cut in the movie trailer where one of the main characters saying, "Oh, it's always about race." It's like, it's not. It's a stupid boxing match which entertains idiots like me, basically. That's what this is. It's not a civil rights battle. I mean, can we just sort of appreciate how ridiculous this is? You've got Logan Paul, right, with one boxing match which he lost. He's a YouTuber, he's a Viner, he's a whatever, podcaster. He's looking down, smiling on one of the great sportsmen of our generation. I have no idea who that guy on the left of Floyd is. But Floyd, he's dressed as like... Do you know what he looks a bit like? He looks like Ty from Arsenal Fan TV. Like, he looks like Floyd Mayweather's biggest fan at the moment. Like, he looks like he's been to the Mayweather club shop and bought everything. That's who Floyd Mayweather looks like. And this is someone who shouldn't be nowhere near the boxing ring at his stage. He should be off, retired in the Hall of Fame. What the fuck is he doing? Fair play to Logan. He's won this press conference so far.
It's a fight for him, not for you. It's a fight for him, but for me, it's all about fun. It's all about entertainment.
Alright, so Floyd there just saying this isn't a fight and this is entertainment. Which, I've got to be honest, is a bit annoying because I have just spent the first half of this video sort of defending this fight's legitimacy, and then you have the boxing half of it not taking it seriously. So for those of you, although to be fair, it does lay something into my argument. Like, if you're one of these people who doesn't think the YouTubers are appreciating boxing and don't taking it seriously, here you have your guy, your boxer king or whatever, saying he doesn't give a shit about it. So it's him that's only doing it for the money. Oh, Jake Paul's barging in. He's calling him out for saying, you know, 2 in 1 night or whatever.
Let's make it happen. Yes, sir. Get the paperwork for this ball. Get Let me call Al.
Oh, Jake Paul, man. I know he's a dickhead, but you also kind of got to love him. Like, he's gone up, he's wound Floyd up, and then he's just nicked his hat. And Floyd has gone belting after him. Like, that's a 50-year-old, right, trying to get his hat back. Like, do you know how ridiculous it is? Like, Jake's getting beat the shit up here by 50 fucking security guards just because he took someone's hat. Like, if you're as rich as Mayweather, you just go and get another hat. You let Jake run off like a little kid. But Jake's fucking really embarrassed him here. And Logan's got stuck in as well. Brilliant. This is what we want to see. This is the content which we love and why YouTube boxing is so fucking good. This is... brilliant. Just fantastic. But yeah, I mean, that was a very, very enjoyable press conference. It was, in terms of where I'm going to rank it, it's nowhere near the peak. The peak was sort of Logan and KSI's first one with Deji and Jake on the undercard, but I'd probably rank it about the same as the one with Joe Weller at Upload. It's that sort of level. So yeah, just to wrap this video up, I'll give a little prediction. As you can probably tell, I want Logan to win, partly because I want to back my fellow YouTuber, but more importantly, it'll be the funniest thing ever. I know I've laughed a lot at Floyd in this video, but he is still, underneath the insecurities and the single-digit IQ, one of the greatest boxers of all time. So naturally, I do think he'll win. But imagine, just imagine if Logan catches him with a lucky punch. My team won the Champions League last weekend, but it honestly wouldn't compare to if Logan Paul knocks out Floyd Mayweather and leaves the ring with the dub. Anyway, serious prediction, I'm going to go Mayweather with a TKO in round 6. That's all. As usual, this has gone on far longer than expected, so well done if you made it to the end. Viewer retention stats suggest that most people haven't made it this far, so you lot are part of a select few. Hope you enjoyed. Give me your predictions down below. I've bought an actual microphone recently, which I'm using today. So if you think the audio's been a bit better, can you let me know? Because if it isn't better, I want to get my 100 quid back. But yeah, that's it.